You know, it's funny. I was telling Olivia last night that being a fan of New York sports is just the worst thing in history because just when the Yankees pull me out, what happened last night pulls me right back in. The Giants, for the first time in a while, took care of business and completely dominated the Eagles for the entire game. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like this since 2011 when a certain other young stud went for 3 touchdowns against them named Victor Cruz and salsa danced his way to a victory. Cam Scottaboo looking like one of the best third-round picks the Giants have made in years. Jaxson Dart looks great. The defensive line looks amazing. Secondary has some issues. That was more on Jalen Hurts making horrible reads all night. And wouldn't you believe it that Saquon was bottled up most of the game? Can't believe that one. Giants upset the Eagles last night in a stunner at home at MetLife. Eagles lose 2 in a row after starting 4-0 on some fluky wins. Yankees lost the other night. I was there in attendance. Absolute dead game. Just lifeless offense. The only person that really showed up was Schlittler. He gave us 6 1/3 about. Again, I don't know what you're going to expect when you can't put up more than 2 runs against a bullpen. Cubs took care of business last night, even the series at 2-2 with a 6-0 victory, and we go back to Milwaukee for the winner will play the now hosting Los Angeles Dodgers, who won on some fluky business last night. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 11th inning, ground ball to the pitcher, and something we've learned in first grade, throws it to home. Philly fans stunned all around the country, all around the world. Another brutal playoff exit for the Philadelphia Phillies, who look like one of the best teams in the league, and again, decided to show up late when you were already down 2-0 to the Dodgers. It's just me today. Valley Sports Pod, episode 10, the Eli Manning episode, coming to you live from a place with 0 valleys except this one. It's just me today. I'm riding solo, like Jason Derulo. So sit down and relax. Let George drop the facts. I'm going to give you my week 6 picks. Then, via satellite, Timmy gave me his pepper picks. We're going to recap the Yankees game. I got a lot to talk about. And recap the Giants game last night. Jets are in London this week. So, that being said, sit back, strap in, take a ride with us through the valley, and if all is ready, let's flip that switch. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Valley Sports Podcast. I'm your host, George, but you already know that. And once again, today I'm riding solo like Jason Derulo. No Timmy, no Nick. Got some stuff they're going their way this week. I gave them the week off. So today it's just me. And we're going to have a fun episode today. Got the Yankees funeral. We got the Giants celebration. And we're going to preview week 6. And like I said, I briefly mentioned, sorry for all the Philadelphia Philly fans out there, but another terrible loss. Unbelievable. But I digress. Let's start with the Yankees. And once again, it's now 2025, and the Aaron Boone-led Yankees have still not won a playoff series as the away team. And I am sick of it. I'm sick of going to games and watching the same thing every year. It seems to me that it's the same yearly occurrence where the certain bats don't show up in the playoffs because they rely too much on the home run ball, and I'm sick of it. Bellinger, Volpe, Wells were all non-existent the entire playoffs. Volpe had his one shiny moment against the Red Sox in the wild card round, and it's funny we mentioned the wild card round because it seems like that was their World Series. They were so excited to win that series because we haven't beaten them since 2003 in the playoffs. 2003. 22 years ago. 2003, I was sitting in first grade making arts and crafts while they were beating the Red Sox for the last time. We haven't beaten them in 22 years. I'm a 28-year-old man, and I've seen them beat the Red Sox pretty much once in my entire life because I wasn't conscious. I didn't even know what baseball was. But, again, they won their World Series because they finally beat them. And once again, Aaron Boone thinks it's right in front of them. And guess what, Aaron? It's not in front of you. It's the same thing every year. You go to the playoffs and you do the same bullshit. You can't hit. You can't do anything. We have the Blue Jays, who I believe struck out 3 times in Game 4, which is unbelievable. Shout out to them. Talk about small ball wins it. And this Yankees team just can't seem to get the big hit in multiple games. Their backs are always against the wall, it seems like. You know, it's crazy. ESPN brought up a stat the other night that Aaron Judge now tied David Ortiz for most postseason elimination game home runs. But it just goes to show you how much more Aaron Judge is facing elimination. That's just more what that stat is. Because we're not going to pretend just because Judge had one good playoffs that he's been very good in the playoffs. He's been awful. He's been the Lamar Jackson of the MLB. Okay? Just because he showed up once doesn't mean anything. The other night, he didn't hit a home run. So who cares? The game's over. And once again, we move on to next season with the same crap manager, with the same strategy, with the same dumbass GM, and nothing's going to change. And I'm tired of it. And if you're a fan spending money, I wouldn't buy season tickets for this stupid team. It's clear the owner doesn't care. He doesn't care. He would rather have this team make the playoffs and make it to the ALCS and lose and make all that bread than to actually put effort into winning this team. You know, since this guy has taken over, RIP George Steinbrenner, who died the year after the last World Series in 2010, this guy hasn't changed anything. Cashman's still the GM, and other than firing Girardi and putting in who Cashman wants, what has this guy done? He's changed no front office personnel. It's all the same shit, and I'm tired of it. This team will never win under this regime, and I can guarantee it. Never. And we're wasting Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, 2 of the best players that have ever worn the pinstripes, and we're wasting them. It's pathetic. And they're never going to win under this regime because they can never beat the best team, whether it's the Dodgers last year, the Astros every year, and the Red Sox that one year in 2018. They can never be the best team in the playoffs. They're not the team everyone's afraid of. No one's scared of this team. Everyone knows if you get them in a situation with men on and you're up 2 runs, they know they're not going to get the big hit. They're gonna strike out or they're gonna fly out. It's meaningless. Nothing happens. Ryan McMahon was the only guy to homer in last game, and he got pinch hit for Ahmed Rosario. So that's what your manager's doing. And honestly, I'm done talking about it. I don't care anymore. This team stinks. They're never going to win the World Series. And if Aaron Boone doesn't get fired, have fun, Yankees fans, because you're going to have same year after year heartbreak. End of story. And I'm not going to playoff games anymore because that was a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I spent money. I rolled on the subway like sardines, and I had to go sit. At least my seats were great. Shout out to where we were sitting, right behind Aaron Judge. And we had no one behind us, so at least I was able to just stand up and do whatever I want. But other than that, awful experience. Awful. Moving on, we'll briefly touch on the Cubs, Brewers, and then Phillies, Dodgers. Cubs took care of business last night, backs against the wall. See, now that's a team where first inning, automatically you're already up, and from the jump, the Cubs took control of this game and never looked back. You could just tell the Brewers were like, once we go down, we got to focus on Game 5 because they won 6-0. Game was over early. Then we jumped to Los Angeles. Phillies, I got to say, these umps got to go because that call on Sanchez's ball was one of the worst I've ever seen. 2 strikes in the 7th inning. Game-changing call. Game-changing call. But, again, 11th inning, you had the chance to get out of it. Ground ball right to your pitcher, and he just dumps it. Something we learned in 1st grade, like I said before, sitting in art class. Went to T-ball that day. What do you told me? Oh, make sure you know where you're going with the ball when you get it. Oh, you learn that in 1st grade or even 2nd grade. Whenever you start T-ball, doesn't matter. You get the ball, you go to first base. Easy, force out. And this guy gets the ball, fumbled. He had all day. All day. The guy was halfway down the line. He throws it over the catcher's head. Season's over. Goodbye. Honestly, I don't know. Seems like the Phillies are trying to enhance their losing every year. They try to make it more dramatic. But God bless. Philly fans, you shouldn't even be complaining because your Eagles won a Super Bowl last year. So, I don't know. Unless you only watch baseball, then I don't feel bad for you. But enough baseball. Jump right to the NFL. The Giants took care of business last night. Like, once again, we usually have the episode before Thursday Night Football to make our picks, and I probably would have picked the Eagles again because I just couldn't see the Giants winning. Growing up, Giants were always usually even with the Eagles in the mid to late 2000s. And then the 2010s, the Eagles dominated us outside of 2011 when they beat them twice. But I'm very surprised. Cam Scatterbo looks like the steal of the draft. Third round, this guy fell to. You know, it's crazy to me that people thought he would be too slow for the NFL, but he did the same thing against great talent. Look at him in the playoffs against Texas, a good team, a good defense, a good coach team, and this guy was just doing everything, throwing passes, catching passes, running through everyone. He brought Arizona State back, and if it wasn't for a shitty targeting call, Arizona State probably would have beat Texas. Maybe the NCAA just didn't want Texas to not make it. They wanted Texas versus Ohio State. They don't want Arizona State making it. But like I said, this guy was dominating, and this guy fell to the third round. Look at the Chiefs. You think the Chiefs could use a guy like this? 100%. But I love it. Dart looked great. There were at least 6 to 7 plays where it felt like he was going to get sacked, and Russell Wilson would have got sacked, and Giants Daniel Jones would have got sacked, and Eli Manning would have got sacked, and Jameis Winston would have got sacked, but Dart somehow got out of it and made the play. And I'm really impressed. I am eating my words about starting him right away, but again, in hindsight, it didn't look like the best move, especially now with Neighbors gone. I am a big believer in, I think we should get more weapons for him, whether it's through the draft or make a trade. Maybe hit up a team like the Bears, get a DJ Moore that's not doing too much there, or a T. Higgins in Cincinnati who maybe's thinking like, I don't know, man. It seems like my quarterback's hurt every year. Maybe I go start over somewhere. Be nice. Be nice. But Giants dominate 34-17. And talk about, I said this last week on the show, and Timmy got all upset that Jalen Hurts is just not it. Like, granted, he's won a Super Bowl, but I would argue that he's one of the 5 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. And Philly fans, you can come at me all you want. It's just facts. Now, he's a good quarterback in a great system. Now, it's funny. I saw a tweet yesterday that I'm a big Justin Fields fan. Loved him since Ohio State, and I still think the Jets should build around him, but, people will call me crazy. But I saw a tweet. Someone said that Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts are twins who were switched at birth, where one went to a royal family and the other went to foster care, and couldn't be more perfect than Jalen Hurts showing that he has a little bit of a Justin Fields in him, because some of his throws last night were absolutely horrific. Horrific. It's funny to me how much the Eagles look beatable when their run game is just bottled up. Barkley looks like he's feeling his 400-plus carries last year. Saquon's still Saquon, but it doesn't seem like every time he touches the ball like last year, it's going 7+ yards. He looks tired. He looks like he won his ring, and he's just like, oh, whatever. But he's still a baller. He's a great player. He's top 3 running back in the league. But again, maybe it's harder when you got to lean on a quarterback that's not really as good as you guys claim he is. I'd say he's top 12. He's not top 5. It's just the facts of life. You can't tell me with a straight face this guy who last year was one of the best years you could have ever had as an Eagles fan. You guys dominated everyone. Outside of like 3 games, you were the best team in the league. You had no worries. Talk about sweat-free playoffs outside of one drive where Puka Nacua almost ripped your hearts out. The entire playoffs was just sweat-free. Just roll down the line. After the divisional round, you guys embarrassed the Commanders. You didn't even have to worry. Saquon took it 60 yards to the house. You guys didn't even have to blink. The game was over after the coin toss. Chiefs game, you guys picked 6 Mahomes in the first quarter. Game was over. They weren't coming back. Sweat-free. And this guy didn't even pass for 3,000 yards last year with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, 2 guys who would be alphas on any team in this entire league. You give the Giants A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? Are you kidding me? I wish I had those 2 guys. Yet it seems like they're upset with their quarterback right now because he can't throw a pass. He had Smith wide open. Our secondary is horrible. Wide open for an 80-yard touchdown. He threw it 20 yards over his head. Later in the game, he had A.J. Brown going over across the middle, and this guy's throwing an out route to Jahan Dotson getting picked off at the 15-yard line. It's crazy to me how these Eagle fans can come out here and defend this guy. Like, again, he's a good quarterback. He's just not the X factor that you guys think he is. Just because he won a Super Bowl doesn't mean anything. A great team can win a Super Bowl, and the Eagles were the best team. Granted, probably one of the best teams we will ever see. That team was ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. They dominated everyone outside of the Rams. The Rams had them right where they wanted them, and they couldn't score from the 5. And that's it. And sometimes when you win a Super Bowl, you need a little luck. And again, in that snow game, they got a little lucky. But again, you can't win the Super Bowl with just luck, but you need a little bit of it. So look at the Giants' 2 Super Bowls. Eli got a little lucky with that Samuel dropped interception. And then Eli got a little lucky against the Niners with the 2 fumbles. Again, you need a little luck to win the Super Bowls. Is Eli Manning one of the best to ever do it? No, but he's one of the clutchest to ever do it. And I will say Hurts is a great playoff quarterback. He does what he needs to do, and he doesn't turn the ball over. That's it. He's just not one of the best in the league. Would I take him over guys like Burrow, Lamar, Herbert, Allen, Mahomes? Absolutely not. But in a situation where it's a playoff game and you need to win and you got a great team already, he's a guy I can take. But I digress. Let's do the week 6 picks. So we'll start. London game, Broncos and the Jets. Denver 3-2 after a miraculous win last week, scoring 18 straight against the Eagles in Philly. Now they go to Denver to play a Jets team that just looks like on their last legs. Absolutely horrific Jets team. A big surprise. I thought they would have been better than they looked this year, but I'm going to straight up take the Broncos. And again, I think this might be one of the worst Jets teams we've ever seen. Shout out Garrett Wilson, just still playing your ass off. Gonna be bad. This defense is gonna do bad things to Justin Fields. I don't know. I think the Broncos are just way better. Moving on. Later in the day, we start at 1 o'clock. Another game that's going to be, I think, another blowout. The Rams go to Baltimore after a crushing defeat. Ruined most of my survivor pools. At least I can buy back in them. Rams lost at home to a depleted Niners, to say the least. No Purdy, no Kittle, no Jennings, no Pearsall. Unbelievable. And they lost that game in overtime because I don't even know. I guess it's just more accustomed to Shanahan just being that great of a coach. But Ravens are just dead. I mean, their schedule lightens up, but after that, how they looked last week with Cooper Rush, they just died to a team that's not good. The Texans are not that great of a team, and they took care of business against a bad team because the Ravens are not good. Their defense is horrific, and without Lamar Jackson, their offense is horrific. And God bless Derrick Henry because he just, after going from the Titans to the Ravens, now after one great season, this team just looks dead. Another wasted year of probably one of the best running backs we will ever see. Moving on. Dallas goes to Carolina. Carolina 2-0 at home. They're 0-3 everywhere else, yet they're home. I'm still going to take the Cowboys. Cowboys look good. Dak Prescott is in the MVP talks. Like, again, Dak Prescott's another quarterback I'd take over Jalen Hurts as much as you would hate, throw the tomatoes all you want. Dak Prescott's a playoff choker. End of story. But he's a freaking phenomenal regular season quarterback. It's just what it is. End of story. But take the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure the Panthers are missing like 3 of their linemen this week. Terrell McMillan's going to be a smash start in fantasy, though. That defense is horrific. But Cowboys take care of business. Should be easy. Next game, my hater team of the year is Cardinals go to Indianapolis. And Cardinals with one of the most embarrassing losses I've seen in a long time. Talk about fumbling at the one. It's crazy to me how it's 2025 and we still got guys doing that. That didn't it just happen the week before where a guy dropped it before the end zone? It's actually crazy to me how that stuff happened. I don't understand how you don't just drop the guy the second after that play happens. I don't understand how it's 2025 and that stuff still is going on. If I were the coach, I would have been like, pack your stuff, brother. Go home. Wherever you live, I don't care. Go. It's crazy to me. Just run in the end zone and do any celebration you want. I don't care. It's embarrassing. And then they get the ceiling interception and they fumble it. And then they pick it up in the end zone, the Titans. absolute bananas. I'm pretty sure Vegas had something to do with that. But again, it's another story for another day. I'm taking the Colts. That's it. Moving on. Next game, Seattle goes to Jacksonville. Jacksonville really surprised me last week. I thought the Chiefs were going to win, but again, 99-yard pick six from Devin Lloyd. Their defense looks absolutely lethal. And I said last week that Lawrence is the reason why they lose games, and he balled out last week. Granted, Chiefs did do some stupid things, but again, good teams take advantage of stupid things. And the Jaguars look like a pretty good team. However, the team they're playing is pretty good too. Seattle, again, Darnold with a really bad interception at the end of the game, giving the Bucs pretty much a free win. Interception in your own zone, and Baker and the Bucs take advantage of it. Field goal, game over, go home. Tariq Woolen looks like one of the worst cornerbacks in the league. Can't cover anything. Absolutely horrible. Egbuka was just frying him all day. I'm going to take Jags at home. I like what I saw last week, and I think Lawrence could stay hot. Him and Brian Thomas are getting that connection going, and I like their odds. I think Jacksonville should take this. Next game, Los Angeles Chargers go to Miami. The Dolphins, who blew a 17-0 lead to the Panthers last Sunday. Chargers, who lost to the Commanders at home, who I had as my pepper pick, that's dead. So I'm going to take the Chargers to bounce back after two disgusting losses. They were up 10-0 against the Commanders last week, and they somehow lost that game. Granted, there was a fluky punt return by McConkey that was called back because of a running into the punter, and then just the offense just looks bad. I think they really miss Joe Alt. It's real. Their offensive line just can't get anything going. And now you got no Hampton for at least 4 weeks, but at the end of the day, the Dolphins are still the Dolphins, and they're not good. And so I think the Chargers win this game and bounce back from a horrific loss last week and the week before, because at the end of the day, I love my Giants, but the Chargers should have taken care of them. But that's why it's called Any Given Sunday. Cleveland goes to Pittsburgh, and Dylan Gabriel will be starting again. Joe Flacco was traded from the Browns to the Bengals, and I'm excited because now we will get to see if the Bengals can do anything, but I don't think they're going to do anything. It's 44-year-old Joe Flacco, or however old he is. And I think Jamar Chase is questionable with an illness, but we'll get to that game. But Dylan Gabriel is starting again. He looked good last week. Looked solid. Made the throws he needed to, but they're just not a good team. And Shedeur Sanders will be the backup. So we all know the NFL is going to be begging for Dylan Gabriel to somehow get out of this game for him to go in. And, you know, they posted him on Instagram the other day that he's the QB2. Like, when have you ever seen a quarterback get a post about being the QB2? It's actually crazy to me. Like, this glaze this guy has got to stop. This fifth-round pick that's not good. I don't care. Honestly, I kind of want him to come in so then everyone sees that he's just not good. End story. But taking Pittsburgh at home. They're as great as the Browns' defense is, I think just the Steelers are a better team. Plain and simple. Moving on. New England travels to New Orleans. My team of the year, over 8.5 wins, New England Patriots. Now, week one was horrific. They lost to one of the worst teams in the league, but they just beat the Bills. And the Patriots have arrived. And I'm going to take them to go to New Orleans and take care of business against a bad Saints team that won last week off of some fluky turnovers by the Giants. Talk about Isaiah Hodgins to never touch the ball again. Darius Slayton is horrific. And it showed last night because I didn't even see their names called. We got Lil Jordan Humphrey and Jalen Hyatt catching passes last night, and they won. So I'm going to take New England. Going to be 4-2. Almost halfway to what I need from them. Love what I saw last week. Drake May, absolute stud. Stephon Diggs, revenge game last week, went for over 100. And Vrabel, I don't know if Stevenson has footage of you cheating on your wife or something, or maybe he like helped you hide a body or something. I don't know. But I don't understand how this guy can fumble so often yet still get the ball every week. It doesn't make sense to me. You guys drafted Henderson in the second round, who never fumbled in 4 years of college. Yeah, you don't want to give him the ball. I don't know. I guess I'm the idiot, but who knows? Patriots over the Saints. Moving on. Next game, Titans go to Las Vegas after Cam Ward really showed who he is. What a great comeback last week. Him and Ridley finally figured out that connection. Geno Smith looks awful. Genuinely. He's not good. Bowers is fighting through MCL injury. He's on and off the field. Doesn't look like himself this year. I think they're getting very unlucky with that. But Geno is just not it. They probably will be drafting a quarterback this coming draft. And I think Titans will win. They're going to ride high off of last week. Going to Vegas against a bad team. And as long as Cam Ward doesn't do anything stupid, I think they should win this game. And honestly, Gentry just looks as advertised. Everyone was panicking after 3 weeks. I mean, what do you expect's going to happen when he's got 149 rushing yards after contact and they're more than what he actually has rushing? What do you think's going to happen when your offensive line is paper, literal paper, not construction paper? We're talking like the loose printer paper. But Titans over the Raiders. Next game, San Fran goes to Tampa, and as of today, it looks like Chris Godwin will not be playing. So, I'm going to tell you this right now. I thought that win last week for the Niners was fluky. It's because I feel like Shanahan just owns McVay, which is really weird. Outside of that NFC title game, the Niners have taken care of the Rams often, very often. And that game they should have won too back in 2021 when they dropped the interception. But I think Tampa will take this at home. Even without Godwin, who has been pretty much a non-factor, they got so many guys that'll step up. And Rachaad White is probably the best backup running back in the league because every time this guy's name is called, he's just doing it for him. Absolute great running back room. And Sterling Shepard's a sneaky, solid receiver that Baker can trust. And Kate Otton's a pretty good tight end, so I think they'll take care of business. And I think they could beat this Niners team because I don't think giving it to McCaffrey 30 times a game is going to work out. I just can't see him lasting his entire year. Like, if I'm a McCaffrey owner, I'm like on edge every week because it's just like, God, just get me to week 18 because one bad thing and he's done. This guy's, 30 right now or 29? And he's getting 30 touches a week with so much injury history. I would be on eggshells. If I can get this guy and trade him for like a Puka or a Bijan or a Gibbs, I do it in a heartbeat. Because it's like those guys need something catastrophic to happen for them to miss. When McCaffrey is just known to just be gone. There's been years where he'll have 25, 30, 40, and then the 1 week, he'll be gone in the first quarter. You're done with 3, and then all of a sudden you're panicking. You're done. I wouldn't want to deal with that if I was a McCaffrey owner. It feels like you're like a drug addict. You're like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out. I don't know. I need the 25 points from him this week. So as great as he is, it's just like too much of a asset I wouldn't want to lose because of the risk. But moving on. Cincinnati goes to the Packers, and the Packers are 14.5-point favorites at home with Joe Flacco starting for the Bengals. This defense is horrific. The Jamar Chase is questionable with an illness right now. Packers coming off of a bye. I'm just going to take the Packers. The Bengals are just not good. They have one of the worst coaches in the league. They have the worst offensive line in the league. They may have the best wide receiver room in the NFL, but doesn't mean much when you don't have a good thrower. And Joe Flacco is not the answer. I think they should have hit up the Giants and gotten Jameis. I think that would have been so much more fun to watch. I don't think Joe Flacco is going to do much, but you know what? I've been wrong so far this year a couple times, so maybe he'll come in and throw for 300 and beat the Packers again. Wouldn't that be something? Beating the Packers 2 times in 1 year on 2 different teams. Anyways, Sunday Night Football. Detroit goes to Kansas City, and granted, the Detroit Lions talk about getting embarrassed week 1 and then just rolling through everyone the next 4 weeks. I'm going to take Detroit. Love their offense. I don't think there's a single defense in the NFL that can stop this team. Outside of week 1, I think that was a little fluky in Lambeau. They kind of got caught off guard, and I don't know. I like how the Lions look. They just making it look too easy without Ben Johnson, and everyone just looks healthy. Their defense looks good now. They don't have like 15 guys on the IR begging to come back. This is your year. The door is about this much right now, Detroit. Before it goes slam shut, gotta win it. You gotta win it. The NFL is really, really harsh about that. Your window is so small. Look at the Bengals. They're still riding high on that 2021 AFC Championship win. And their window is pretty much slammed shut for now. It's just such a hard league. You got to understand there's a reason why there's only 2 teams with 6 Super Bowls. It's not easy to do. This thing's been around since the 60s, and there's almost like 10 teams without a Super Bowl. There's almost 10 teams that haven't even been to the Super Bowl. You're one of them. So your door is starting to slam shut. So you guys got to figure it out. And this is one of your years. You can't have what happened last year in the divisional round happen again. You can't be caught with your pants between your legs against a rookie quarterback at home, because that was embarrassing. But again, I'll take the Lions tonight. Next game, we go to another Monday Night Football doubleheader. And can I just say, it's week 6. Why are we still doing these doubleheaders? I'm tired of them. Why do we have to do this crap? It's stupid. It's dumb. We have 2 games going on at the same time. 2 very good games, might I add. Number 1 is the Bills in Atlanta, and then number 2 is Chicago and Washington. Why are we putting 2 marquee matchups at the same time? As a football fan, that's idiotic. If you're a fan of one of those 4 teams, it's fine for you, but a guy like me who likes watching the sport, why do I got to flip-flop between 2 different games? Just take one game and put it at 4 o'clock and just keep it for one game for Monday night. Why do we need 2 at primetime? Why? Because ABC's got to get paid? It's stupid. Stop doing it. And that's why Thursday Night Football should be stopped too, because it's dumb. It's a waste of time. Whatever. Rant over. Buffalo goes to Atlanta. Buffalo coming off a very disappointing loss to New England. Might I add, horrific loss. Josh Allen lost them that game. James Cook was bottled up all game, and they looked to Allen to win it for them, and he just played like dog shit. Just plain and simple, played like dog shit. McDermott got outcoached. Patriots looked great, and Josh Allen just lost them that game. But I think they'll win this week. And even though Atlanta's wearing their very, very, very nice alternate throwback jerseys, you know, it's actually, let me talk about this one thing really quick. Isn't it crazy how every time a team wears their throwback jerseys, people are like, oh my God, those are so nice. Oh my God, let's bring those back. It's really crazy how minimalism is really ruining our society in sports. Talk about the NBA. Look at a team like Toronto Raptors. Go back to the 2000s when they were Vince Carter, purple and black. Their logo was the Raptor. They got the little lightning bolts going down their jersey. I got the jersey in my house. I'll bring it on one time. Phenomenal jerseys. Now you got their stupid logo now where it's just a claw and it's red and black. It's idiotic. Why are we doing like the Bengals now? How do we go from an actual Bengal tiger as your logo to a B? Like, who wants to see that nonsense? It's a B. It's stupid. Look at the Bears now. They finally changed from that ugly-ass C to a bear. It looks so nice. Stop changing to make it look minimal. It's dumb. It's stupid. And it's just funny to me how everyone last week was gushing over the Bucks and Seahawks. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, CBS, for Fox, for putting the logos on the scoreboard, because little things like that really make it so aesthetically pleasing. The Seahawks old logo and the Bucks old logo, and everyone's like, oh my God, these jerseys are so nice. Isn't it crazy how much nicer everything used to be, and now all the new uniforms are so ugly looking? Just go look on TikTok. Look up Reebok era jersey of the NFL and look how much nicer everything used to look back then. It's just, I think minimalism is really destroying how we look at sports. And I'm not saying everyone's doing it bad, but there are like a good majority, like Commanders with the ugly W, but whatever. I'm taking the Bills. Bills bounce back in Atlanta. Um, Even with Bijan looking nice in those jerseys, he always goes off in those jerseys. I still got Buffalo. I don't see them losing 2 in a row, especially to an inferior team to them than the Falcons. Last game, Chicago goes to Washington. Washington looked great last week with Daniels back. It seems to me that this team loves playing with this kid. They just step up every time he shows up. And Chicago coming off the bye, they looked very beatable against the Raiders. The Raiders, when they beat the Raiders in that game off that block field goal, I said it before, any other team, they would have lost that game. But it's just because the Raiders are that bad, and bad teams find a way to lose. So I'm going to take the Commanders at home. Even if McLaurin doesn't play, I love that addition of Debo. He looks absolutely phenomenal. And Bill, going to run all over this defense. JCM finally has arrived. Let's actually give it to our best players. Crazy concept, guys. Crazy concept. Commanders at home, and those are my week 6 picks. Love them, hate them, fade them. Now, we're going to go, and before we wrap it all up like a present, I'm going to give, I'm used to saying we because I'm usually with other people. But again, Valley Sports Podcast, if you made it all this way, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Hit us up on TikTok. Help us get to 300. We're 6 away. Help us get to 100 subs on YouTube. We're 50 away. 50. We're 50 subs. But, again, if you made it this far, the moment we've all been waiting for, our week 6 pepper picks. Now, my partner, Timmy, who's not with us today, he's away. And my man behind the cam, Nick, is not with us today. He's also away. Timmy gave me his pepper picks via satellite, ergo text. I just like saying facetious things and stupid things. But anyway, as of today, starting to heat up. Last week, we both went 1-1. So as of today, I am 4-6, and Timmy is 5-5. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time ever, you're like, George, what are pepper picks? I'll tell you right now. We signed a contract at the beginning of the year. The person with the worst record at the end of the year has to eat a Carolina Reaper. So every week we give out 2 spread picks. And so Timmy sent me his picks. Timmy's week 6 pepper picks are the Jets plus 6.5 in London against the Broncos, and the Saints plus 3.5 at home against the Patriots. And yeah, I don't know. I would assume that this kid, if you were a longtime watcher already, you already know that this kid's done with the Jets, but yet he turns around and picks the Jets in his pepper picks. Doesn't really make sense, but again, I don't know what to say there. You gave us like a nice 10-minute rant last week and how much you hate the Jets, but you picked them in your pepper pick. I don't know. I hate picking with my heart. Yet I picked the Giants a couple weeks ago, and that really worked out well, let me tell you. So, now, my first pick going to be the Colts, minus 6.5 at home against the Cardinals, who are just not good. Their wins are against shit teams, and they lost to a shit team last week. A game they should have easily won, and they somehow lost. The Colts look dominant outside of the Rams game, which they low-key should have won, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to hear my girlfriend celebrating from the other room because she bet the Colts to win the Super Bowl. So, again, a game they should have won against the Rams. They should honestly be undefeated right now, but they're going to be home. They haven't lost at home, and the Cardinals are not good. They're a horrible team. Kyler Murray is just not it. They just don't know. They just don't use their guys. You got 2 superstars in McBride and Harrison, and they're not leading the league in anything because you guys just don't use them. Doesn't make sense to me. Just not a good team, not a good franchise, and the Colts will massacre them. It'll be easy. Wrap it up. Move on. And my second pepper pick is Patriots minus 3.5. And I don't know why people are so obsessed with the Saints picking them, especially my partner taking the Saints spread. I just think the Patriots are good. They showed the league last week who they really are. New Orleans is not good. They beat the Giants off some fluky turnovers. Rattler is now, 1-10 as a starter? Doesn't matter. Drake May is him. He has shown who he really is last week. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league already. So, my picks, Patriots -3.5, Colts -6.5. Timmy, Jets +6.5, Saints +3.5. Wrap them all up. Take all four, fade all four. Fade 2, fade 1. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Wrap it all up. Love them, hate them, fade them. The motto of the day. Motto of the year. Motto of life. That being said, till next time, and there will be that next time, this is George from Valley Sports Podcast giving you 189 Dive. That's a wrap. Episode 10 in the books. Hope you enjoyed my impromptu episode from my apartment, not the studio. No Timmy, no Nick, no Olivia, no one. It's just George. I hope you had fun. My little rant about the Yankees, my excitement about the Giants because they pulled me back in. Just when you thought I was done with them, pulled me back in. And I'll be watching every single game. Yankees, I'm done with y'all. I don't care. Get rid of Aaron Boone, maybe we'll talk. But again, episode 10 in the books. Week 5 in the books. Yankees playoffs in the books. Week 6 on the horizon. And Timmy's not going to give it to me one more time because he's not here. So, for the last time, we're going to flip that switch.